couple days ago it was 8 degrees with a wind chill of like -2, and now it's 60 degrees with a wind chill of 60 degrees. What the heck is going on here? Hello YouTube, Instagram, and all the other social media sites. Thank you for joining me in the next episode of Investing in Real Estate Investing 101, episode 2. I'm your host, Calvin Moore. You know, it's 60 degrees outside and we have a lot to go over, so thank you for joining me for the next 20 minutes. But I'm thinking, why don't we head down to the beach since it's such a lovely day and we can start our conversation there. Come on, let's go. Okay, so we're down here at the waterfront, Beachline waterfront, not too far away from the house. Took me literally, truly 5 minutes and 13 seconds to walk down here. And, you know, we'll get into that a little later on because that, you know, ties into location. But, you know, let's go over really what we spoke about in our last video, okay? So the first concept that we spoke about in our last video was that of passion. Okay, you got to have a passion for whatever it is that you do in life, and then that passion, try to relate it to your real estate investing. I won't go too deep into it because we spoke about it in our last episode. So, you know, feel free to go back to watch episode 1 and get back abreast, or, you know, get back up to speed on what I mean by passion. So that's the first concept. Second concept, what type of investor are you going to be? Now that concept breaks down into 3 different levels. Level 1, what I do, being a flipper, buying properties at a low price, fixing them up, and then selling them. The second level is, or the second choice is being a landlord, buying properties at hopefully a very low price, then collecting rent from those properties. And then the third level, or the third choice, is purchasing vacant lots and then improving upon those lots by building a piece of property on that. So those are basically the 3 different things that we should think about in our real estate investing. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, Calvin, what about being a wholesaler, or being a real estate agent, or a broker? And I'm not going to really go into those, just due to the fact that either being a wholesaler or being an agent or a broker, you're not really truly owning a property. What you're doing, you're acting as a go-between between a buyer and a seller. So what I really want to do now with this video is expound upon location, what we always hear about in real estate, and also budgeting, and what you should be thinking about when we start to buy our next piece of real estate. Okay, so we're going to start talking about location. And part of that is understanding your neighborhood. So let's walk back to the house, and as we walk, let's look at our neighborhood and understand why somebody might truly want to purchase a home from us. And not only just purchasing a home, but pay top price, top dollar for that house. So as you can see here, lovely park, historic district, tree-lined street, large homes, and the homes are well kept, as you can see. Also, what's great about this neighborhood is the fact that this street, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's extremely wide, quiet, not a lot of traffic. Also, as it pertains to your investment or your potential investment, you have to ask yourself, is this the type of neighborhood that I would live in or that I would want to live in? That goes a long way to basically solidifying your desire to want to see the project through. Because let's just face facts. If we purchase a property in a neighborhood that we don't like, not saying that that's wrong, because I've done it many a time, but if you don't like the neighborhood, it's going to be harder for you to complete the project because, again, your passion, your heart just isn't in it. So what do you need to do if you do find inexpensive, or we find an inexpensive property in a neighborhood that we don't like? Well, what we need to do then is make sure that our rehab and renovation of that property is second to none. That when you walk into the house, even though the neighborhood might not be desirable, but the house is. And there's a lot of different ways in which we can go about doing that to make sure that when somebody walks into the house, their knees buckle. Okay, let's walk up these bluestone stairs. As you can see, brass hardware everywhere. These are the little things that buyers really want in a home. We walk into the oversized dining room, and let's find a place to sit down, I think right here. Hey everybody, okay, so we're back after taking a walk from the waterfront, Beachline waterfront. We're back in the house, and we're going over the budget. The budget of the home. And notice what I'm saying. I'm saying the budget, not your budget, not my budget, not our budget, but the budget of the house once we purchase a house and what we're going to be spending in order to do the renovations and the rehabilitations. And what we need to do is basically break the budget down into two major parts: your exterior and your interior. So why don't you grab a paper and a pencil and we can go over this together. Okay, so we got the budget for the exterior of the home. We're basically going to break that down into 9 separate subsections, okay? So the first section is that of the roof. 2, it is the fascia, soffits, and the gutters, and that also includes your downspouts. Number 3 is your paint or your vinyl siding of the home. Number 4 is the exterior foundation. 5 is your landscaping. Number 6 is your masonry, all the concrete work that you might have to do to your sidewalks that surround the house, as well as your entryway. Number 7, driveway. Number 8, your garage. Number 9, any other additional amenities such as a pool or anything like that. And actually I said 9, is actually 10. And the number 10 is miscellaneous, because trust me, you're going to be spending some money on things that you didn't even think you're going to be spending it on. So those are the 10 different sections of the exterior budget that we need to think about when purchasing a piece of real property. Okay, so let's talk about the budget as it pertains to the interior of your home. There are certain things, basically 5 major things, maybe even 6, that you'll have to worry about, or at least think about, when it comes to the budget with the interior of the house. Probably the most important, as well as the most expensive, is going to be your electrical system. So let's put that as line item number 1, electrical. Line item number 2, your plumbing, whereas your sewer lines and your sewer systems are going to be connected to that. Number 3 will be your furnace. And another expensive part of your furnace is if you need to have your oil tank removed and or at least tested. Then you have your water heater. And then if you're going to add an HVAC system to your home, so you can have vented air conditioning. So those are the 5, 6 major components that you have to deal with when dealing with the interior aspect of your home renovation. Next to that, very close, but next to that are your windows. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, now, Cal, why aren't you adding your windows to the exterior budgeting of the home? And the reason why I don't do that is because you add the windows from the inside of the house. Very rarely will you add them from the outside, but it goes in from the inside out. So that's an inside investment. So you have your windows, and then you can start to talk about your finishes, which are your walls, your ceilings, your floors, your trim, your kitchens, your bathrooms, and obviously your bedrooms. Now, as we start to move forward on this journey regarding renovation, obviously when we get to things such as your kitchens and your bathrooms, there's going to be a larger expense because that gets broken down. In your kitchen, you have your appliances, you have your fixtures, you have your floors, you have all those things that really make, those details that really make the finish of your kitchen stand out. Same thing with your bathroom. So we'll go into that a little later on, but again, I want to make broad strokes with regard to what it is that we're going to be spending, or not spending, but investing in the rehabilitation of our home. Okay, now that you have a better idea and understanding about budgeting for both the exterior and interior of a home, let me show you some before and after shots, as well as some videos of what I did with this property. So as you can see from the video and the pictures that I just showed you, we really opened up the face of the property, where before it was basically overgrown with trees and shrubs and bushes. What I needed to do, I needed to get my guys in here, pull down a whole lot of trees, and really open up the front of the home in order to give it that pop, that curb appeal. So this way, when cars drive by, they can see the home for what it truly is, rather than something that was completely overgrown with shrubs, trees, and weeds. Okay, so you now just saw a little bit of what we did to the exterior of the house. Now let's go upstairs and check out a bathroom. This is just one of 3.5 bathrooms that this house has. Notice the extra large stainless steel mirror, the upgraded lights shining over a marble countertop on top of a mahogany vanity, your embossed subway tiles, extra large bathroom, upgraded shower. These are all of the amenities that a buyer wants in a home such as this. Okay, so we're coming to a close of this particular video. I want to thank you guys very much for joining me. But before we basically say goodbye, let's go over what we spoke about in the last 20 minutes. One, passion. You gotta have a passion for this. You have to have a love for it in your heart and in your soul. That's one. Two, what type of investor are you going to be? Are you going to be a flipper? Are you going to be a landlord? Or are you going to be a developer? Three, don't believe the hype. Don't think you're going to purchase a property. Well, let's say, don't think you're going to find a property, purchase it, rehab it, then sell it all in 8 weeks. Don't go down that road thinking that's going to happen. Four, make sure that when you do look for your properties, you keep in mind your budget. Not your budget as far as how much money you have, because we'll talk about that later, but the budget for the project. What are you going to spend externally? What are you going to spend internally? Exterior, you got that roof, you got the soffits and the fascia and the gutters, you got the paint or the vinyl siding, you got the exterior foundation, you got the landscaping, you got the driveway, you got the garage, you got the pool or any other amenity, plus any of the miscellaneous. On your interior, you have your electrical, you have your plumbing, you have your, what else? Your furnace and your water heater, and then you also have what you're going to be spending on your kitchens, your bathrooms, and then the fixtures in order to close everything up. The finishes, trim molding, and your floors, and your sheetrock, and all that type of stuff. So those are the things that we went over in this past video. We're going to put all that together going into the next video. So again, when we do go out there looking for these properties, it's all that much more easier. And also, you're going into a project with your eyes wide open rather than your eyes wide shut. So thank you. Thank you for joining me. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit those buttons below, those subscribe buttons and those notification buttons. Comment. I'd love to answer any questions that you guys have. And until the next time, happy investing.